So this is my diet plan improvements and overall evaluation. So just an introduction to the diet plan. So the athlete I was given was a male road cyclist who was 170 centimeters tall, weighed 93 kilograms, and was 23 years old. He's currently 2 weeks away from a major competition in road cycling that he's been building up to throughout the year. And in terms of the athlete's build, he's quite heavy compared to a stereotypical road cyclist who, we may seem as quite skinny, but very good at endurance events. But I think that being quite heavy is going to be an advantage to him in some aspects because his power input will be high, and put him at an advantage on the flat roads and downhill roads, making him faster. So we need to fuel the body with lots of carbohydrates, obviously for energy throughout the race, and also lots of protein throughout the 2 week period beforehand, as we need to make sure that he recovers properly after the training sessions. So, as I said, the athlete is a male road cyclist, 170 centimeters tall, 93 kilograms, and 23 years old. And what we had to do was I had to work out the BMR first of all, which I found out was 1877.5. And I did this by the calculation you can see on the screen there. I then had to work out the METs, which I did by timesing the BMR by an activity factor, which is, as you can see by the calculation, came to 6,249.6. And then this allowed me to, as well as looking at some other sources about kind of how many calories a road cyclist should be consuming, it allowed me to come up with the total daily energy expenditure, which will be plus or minus 15% of the 6,249.6 calories, meaning that the athlete is going to need for days when he's training around 6,200 calories a day. As you can see on the other side of the screen, I also had to work out the BMR for rest days because throughout the diet plan there will be days where the athlete needs rest. And so I did this and the answer came to 1877.5. So the BMR, yeah, the BMR is the same. And then the METs is what's different. And so that came to 1176, which is obviously a lot lower than the METs for the training days. And the calculation on the screen is how I worked that out. And then that allowed me to work out the total daily energy expenditure for rest days, which, as you can see, was plus or minus 15% of 1176. So, in terms of training throughout the 2 week period, it will mostly consist of cycle rides in the late morning, and then a gym or circuit or gym and circuit session in the afternoon. And as I said, I've included rest days a couple of times a week, because I feel that it's important that the athlete has a chance to rest and recover, and kind of let the body, yeah, just kind of recover from the training, and so that he can be in optimal condition for when that competition comes around at the end of the 2 weeks. However, these rest days won't be completely rest. There won't be no exercise. There will be a small training session on the rest days, which results in lower calories throughout the day, which you will see on the diet plan. So, why have I chosen certain foods? I've chosen certain foods that are very high in carbs or protein, or carbs and protein. And this is because the athlete needs a lot of energy through his food in the form of the carbohydrates that he's going to be eating. But as I said, he's also going to need a good recovery source, and he will get that through the protein that is included. And I've just put there at the bottom for more of a detailed justification onto why I chose the foods on certain days. That will be provided on the Excel spreadsheet for where the diet plan is. So, in terms of overall evaluating the diet plan, I think that overall it was quite successful because it provided the athlete with a good variety of food, healthy foods. It provided him with a lot of beneficial foods, the carbs, the proteins, and some healthy fats because they are going to be important in the diet. And overall, it prepared the athlete well for the big competition at the end of the 2 weeks that he'll be competing in. However, there are some changes that as I was going through the diet plan, I feel that I could have included. For example, adding more variety, both in terms of fluids and foods. For example, for fluids, I could have added some energy drinks like Gatorade or Lucozade instead of just having water the whole time. Um, and then in terms of foods, I could make the diet more fun and avoid the risk of the athlete becoming bored or tired of the foods that he's eating. However, I didn't want to add too much variety because we don't want to risk the athlete kind of not liking foods and therefore kind of having a bad reaction like an illness or an upset stomach, kind of that kind of thing. And also because the foods on the plan are going to be very, very kind of beneficial for the athlete. And so that is why I chose to put them in. But yeah, as I said, overall, I think the diet plan was quite a successful one.